Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to congratulate you on really making the decision to prepare for the TEF exam. I know some people don't do it. They wait last minute to do it. That's most of my students. That's why I am trying to make up for that. So I decided to make actually this training for you guys who are like short on time. Anyways, so this first part is level A1. So there will be a lot of lessons going through. The one we are doing today is the alphabet, but there will be all the lessons for A1 going from French alphabet, accents. We will see definite and indefinite articles. We'll see verbs, weathers, how to talk, how to present yourself, and all. So this is all A1, and it has more and more and more. But you will need A2, B1, and B2 to actually make sure you get that TEF exam and you actually succeed in it with flying colors. Anyways, so if that's you, if you would like something else, if you get through this A1 that I have on YouTube and you would like to actually join the course, I urge you to click the link below and it will be available on all videos. So take your time to get through A1. If you want to speed up the process, then join the course. Anyways, so hello, who am I? My name is Lamia. I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I'm a tutor in French. And this is your first lesson to prepare for the TEF exam. Before we start, I want you to make sure that you have a notebook, because writing on paper, just paper, individual one sheets, you might lose them. And at some point when it comes time to do your revision or to summarize everything, then you will be lost. I want to mention that we have weekly calls that are added to the course, and that will help you get yourself into a stage of really speaking fluently. Because we all know in the TEF exam, what kills the student? It's the oral examination. Anyways, so close also all tabs or distractions. I want you to be concentrated on getting this and follow closely, because this is actually the essential step to mastering French, is to know the alphabet, to know like, well, what does A sound like in French and what does E sound like, and also letter combinations. We will not go in depth into letter combination in this lesson. It will be the next lesson, but we will mention them just to give you a glimpse of what's coming. Okay? So I will be speaking in French and English alternatively. So you will hear me speak in English, then in French. So I do this because it's called immersion method. When you immerse yourself into a language, you will be for sure speaking the language in like no matter of time. So, aujourd'hui, nous allons apprendre l'alphabet français et comment épeler votre prénom. So I just said today we will learn the French alphabet and how to spell your name. As I said, this is an essential step to mastering French. So follow along closely. The objectives of this lesson, les objectifs de cette leçon, is to learn the French alphabet, apprendre l'alphabet français, to identify and pronounce vowels and consonants, identifier et prononcer les voyelles et les consonnes, to spell your name too, yeah, that would be fun, d'épeler votre prénom, to use helpful vocabulary for classroom practice. So utiliser un vocabulaire utile pour s'exercer en classe. So as I will be talking and say on dit, we say, it means we say, like cela signifie, this means. So I want you to grasp that vocabulary, and I will be talking at the end of this, the end of the lesson about it. Let's start with the vowels. Commençons par les voyelles. Alors, the vowels in French are A, U, E, I, O, E, 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 E. You might be wondering why I didn't mention the Y. Okay, well, because Y, and that's it, what it is called in French, Y. It's like a Greek I. So it is a consonant. Put that in your mind. But sometimes it is pronounced like this one, E. Because it is similar to if you say E in the word see, you see, like. But sometimes it is pronounced as the Y in yes, the Y, okay? So this is a common mistake that a lot of people make, and I want you to understand that. Sometimes you're gonna hear an E like, style. In French, we say style, but it is with a Y. It is written with a Y. And I don't want you to make these mistakes because this is a common mistake that people make in the TEF exam, which is not understanding that's Y or Y. Even though it sounds like a vowel sometimes, it is not one. And understanding that some words are written with Y but sound like still, like it is a vowel. So please remember and try to remember, sorry, this nuance. We will go one by one, okay? So this is not a very fast training that I have. I want you to really grasp it. So once again, the vowels are A, U, E, I, O, E, E, E. So let's go one by one. We start with la lettre A, the letter A, okay? So it is pronounced in French A, similar to the A in father. When you hear it, father. So A. So we will be working a lot with phonetic sounds. You might have seen them before when you studied at school, poems, poetic stuff, but it's not a problem. Like, yeah, they are written differently from the letters. This one is an exception. It's written like an A, but you don't have to worry about that because I will pronounce each one. Okay. So as I said, A is similar to the A in father, A. So let's move to the first example. So what we will be doing is I will go example by example, and I want you to repeat after me when I say it, okay? So first example is chat. This one means cat in English. Chat. Go ahead, your turn. Okay, good. Good work. I hope you repeated it. Okay, next one. Ami. Ami. This one means friend in English. Okay, repeat it after me. Ami. Okay, good. Next one. Good. Next one. Third example. Paris. This one means the city of Paris. We don't pronounce it in English Paris. We pronounce it in French Paris. Paris. Try and repeat after me. Paris. Go ahead. Good. Perfect. Okay. Let's move to the next one. Let's keep going. So we're done with the letter A, la lettre A. Let's move to, sorry, to the vowel. A is a letter, but also a vowel. So let's move to the vowel E. So it's not E, it's E, okay? The phonetic sound, it's a neutral and stressed sound, okay? Like E in neutral, E, okay? Example. First example is je. It means I. So if we had to, let me annotate this because I want you to really understand it. Okay. Let's, yeah, try. Okay, so this might seem weird, but I'm teaching you. Okay. So if I say je mange, this one means I eat. Okay. And then we will try with the next one. So je mange, it's the article, basically, it's the pronoun. So je mange, I eat. So you have the E over here in E, you have the E in E, sorry. Je and the E in mange, mange. Donc I eat is je mange. Then we have the next one. The word, the article, the definite article le. So le, it means the. Le. I know that in English, the gender doesn't matter. We have the girl and the boy. But in French, we say le et la. Le is masculine and la is feminine. But we will go over that more in details after. So le. Let's try and put a word next to it. Let's try the ball, for example. Okay, let's try and notate this one. Le ballon. It means the ball. Okay. And these we will repeat the examples, not, we'll repeat the examples, not really just the articles, so that it gives you room more to practice. Let's try this one. So this one is, oh, sorry. Ce. It means this. So let's try it with the word professor. They seem similar, but it's a bit different. Ce professeur, meaning this professor. I don't know if that's like professor like this. Okay, if I made a mistake in English, I'm so sorry. That's not my native language. So ce professeur, this professor. Okay, let's try and repeat them now. Je mange. Your turn. Again. Je mange. Your turn. Okay, good. Next one. Le ballon. Your turn. Le ballon. Your turn. Good. Okay. Third example. Ce professeur. Your turn. Sorry. Okay, good. Ce professeur. Your turn. Okay, good. Good work. Okay, let me remove the annotation and then we'll move to the next vowel. Okay, sorry. Okay. So now let's move to the letter O, la lettre O. We don't say O, we say O, okay? So, phonetic sound. It is a closed O, like the O, sorry, in go. The O in go. Go, O. It's not O, it's O, okay? So, le premier exemple est un mot. Mot. So this means word or word, basically. Le deuxième exemple est beau. It means beautiful. Le troisième exemple est chaud. This means hot. Now you are wondering why God, why? Two of these words, this bow and show, they don't have the O inside written, but they have the sounds. Okay. So, because the combination of EAU and AU, so E-A-U, E-A-U, are pronounced like O in French. We will learn later on in these lessons some other combinations, but there will be a lesson on it way later. So now repeat after me. First example, mot. Your turn. Good. Okay, let's try again. Mot. Perfect, perfect. Let's move to the next one. Beau. Your turn. Okay, perfect. Another time. Beau. Your turn. Perfect. Good, good, good. Now the last one. Chaud. Your turn. Okay, good. Another time, like, let's repeat. Chaud. Perfect. Good, good, good. Okay. So you are doing great up to now. I hope you're taking extensive notes. Okay, let's move to the letter or voyelle U. Letter U or voyelle U. It is U. It is a rounded U sound unique to French. You pronounce with pursed lips. So U. See how it is? U. Examples. Le premier exemple. First example. Tu, which means you. Tu. Repeat after me. Tu. Pursed lips. Tu. Your turn. Okay, good. One more time. Tu. Your turn. Okay, good. Perfect. Let's move to the second example. Lune. Lune, which means moon. Repeat after me. Lune. Your turn. Perfect. Now a second time. Lune. Your turn. Perfect. Now the third example. Jus, which means juice. Jus. Jus. Your turn. A second time. Jus. Your turn. Perfect. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. The next one is the voyelle I. So la lettre I ou la voyelle I. Okay. It's a phonetic sound like we said before when we were talking about the Y, Y. So it's like the I in C. So I. First example is oui, which means yes. Repeat after me. Oui. Your turn. Perfect. A second time. Oui. Your turn. Perfect. Let's move to the second example. Petit, which means small in French. Petit. Okay, let's repeat after me. Petit. Your turn. Good. Now a second time. Petit. Your turn. Good. Perfect. Let's move to the third example. Livre. Livre, which means book in French. Livre. Repeat after me. Livre. Your turn. Okay, a second time. Livre. Your turn. Perfect. Good job. Okay. Let me just close my WhatsApp because it's making some noises. Okay, let's move to the next voyelle. So now we're going to see the accents that are put on the the E, which is la lettre E, la voyelle E. I just want to mention that those accents, which is, there are three, where there are four, but we will see three for now. So you have the acute accent, you have the grave accent, and you have the accent circumflex. So let's try and see how they sound. So the acute accent, or accent aigu in French, is a phonetic sound of it is a closed E, like A in say. So it's A, say. So A, okay? So let's try some example. First example is été. It means summer in French. So let's try it. Repeat after me. Été. Your turn. Good. A second time. Été. Your turn. Good. Let's move to the second example. Café, which means coffee in French. Okay, let's repeat after me. Café. Your turn. Good. Let's try that again. Café. Your turn. Good. Okay. Third example is bébé, which means baby in French. So repeat after me. Bébé. Your turn. Good. Okay, let's try that again. Sorry. So bébé. Your turn. Okay, good, good. So now let's move to the grave accent. This one is like an open A, like the E in bets. So it's gonna be like it's like it's not closed, it's open. The first one, which was the acute accent, was a closed one. So let's try some example. So père, which means father in French. So let's try it. Repeat after me. Père. Your turn. Okay, good. A second time. Père. Your turn. So how do you say I love my dad? You love your dad in French. So tu aimes ton père. Let me just annotate this so that you have a way of knowing. So tu aimes ton père. Sorry. Okay. So tu aimes ton père. Repeat after me. Tu aimes ton père. Your turn. Good. Let's try that a second time. Tu aimes ton père. That was your turn, actually. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, I love my dad. Thank you. I'm just kidding. Just putting words into your mouth. Okay, good. Second example, très, which means very. So I could say, je suis très contente or content. It does depend if you're a woman. So je suis très, me, I'm gonna say contente because I'm a woman. If it was a man, it would say content without the E, which is making it feminine in this case. So, je suis très contente. If you are a woman, say contente. If you're a man, say content. Okay. Je suis. Oh, sorry, I missed the très. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this again. Je suis très content. For me, it's contente. Okay, let's try it. Je suis, repeat after me. Je suis très contente. Your turn. Okay, perfect. Second time. Je suis très. Now we're going with masculine. Je suis très content. Repeat after me. Je suis très content. Try it. Okay, perfect. Let's move to the third example. Repère. So, repère. Like we said, it's an open E. So, Repère. It's a landmark or a reference point. That's what it means. So let's try it. Repeat after me. Repère. Your turn. Okay, good. A second time. Repère. Your turn. Okay. We could say this is my reference point, which would be in French. Ceci est mon repère. Could be the reference repère. It means this is my reference point. It couldn't mean this is my landmark. It doesn't mean that. But it could be my home. Sometimes some people, like slang or young people, would say repère, like my place. Okay. So let's try it. Repeat after me. Ceci est mon repère. Your turn. Good. Second time. Ceci est mon repère. Okay, your turn. Perfect. Good. Okay, let me remove the annotation. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's move to the last one we will see. I won't see another one. I will mention it, but we will see it later on. So, l'accent circonflexe. The accent circumflex, I guess. So, like it is for the phonetic sound, it is like the open E in bet, but longer and more stressed. So listen to it. Être. So it's more stressed, it's longer. So être is the verb to be in French. Okay, so let's try it. Être. Repeat after me. Être. Your turn. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Être. Good, good. A second time. Être. Try it. Your turn. Good. Now the second example is fête. Fête, which means party. A party. In Quebec, we say c'est ma fête. It means it's my birthday. So let's go and try it. Fête. Your turn. Say it. Okay. A second time. Fête. Your turn. Okay, good. Now let's move to the third example. Prêt, which means it is ready or I am ready. So it means ready, basically. It's used for both. So repeat after me. Prêt. 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 Okay. Try it. Prêt. Prêt. Sorry. Prêt. Your turn. Okay, good. A second time. Prêt. Your turn. Good. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to explore the Y, which is not at all a vowel. It is a consonant. Remember that. It functions like la lettre I, the letter E in French, or as a semi-vowel, like Y, depending on its position. So let's try it. So style becomes in French style. Okay, repeat after me. Style. Your turn. Good. Let's try it again. Style. Your turn. Good. The second example, rayon, which means a ray of sunshine, rayon de soleil. So rayon de soleil is ray of sunshine, of sun. Anyways, so let's go. Repeat after me. Rayon. Your turn. Okay, perfect. Let's try it again. Rayon. Your turn. Perfect. Now the third example is lycée, which means high school in English. So Lycée. Your turn. Perfect. Try it again. Lycée. Your turn. Perfect. Okay. So how do you know if the Y is pronounced E or Y? Let me just pull up some things. This is too much. Let me just pull up our rules so that I can make sure I explain it really well. Okay, let's talk about the Y, which is the Y in French. Okay, Y. So it depends where in the word, where it is in the word. So when Y is between two consonants or at the beginning of a word, so when Y is between two consonants, like here in steel, okay? Between two consonants or at the beginning of a word, followed by a consonant. It is pronounced like E in machine. Okay, machine. I don't know how to say it in English, sorry. So it's similar to the E in C in English. So it behaves like la lettre E. So example are le mot système. So let me just write it down over here so that you have a clear view of it. So the mot système, which means a system in English. You see over here, because it is between two consonants, it is pronounced like the between. So rule 1, sorry, I should have put it before. Y between two consonants or at the beginning of a word followed by a consonant, it is pronounced E, like the vowel E in French. Good? You got it? Perfect. So that's rule number 1. Now, about the second rule, we have system and we have gymnase, which means gymnasium, I guess. I don't know if that's how you write it in English. Sorry for the confusion, if ever. When the Y or the Y is between two vowels, it acts like two E sounds, with the first E combining with the preceding vowels and the second E combining with the following vowels. Okay. So example are P, which means country in French. Voyage, which means trip or travel. Most likely travel. No, not to travel, but a travel, yeah, or trip. So rule number 2. Rule number 2. Let me copy this because I don't feel like writing all of it. Okay, it's over here. So when Y is between two vowels, it acts like two I sounds, with the first I combining with the preceding vowels and the second I combining with the following vowels. So here it sounds like if I had pays, something like that. That's not a perfect example, but let's Let's roll with it. And here it sounds like voix, voyage. That's what it sounds like. So that one is perfect example. Sorry. This one is between the consonants. I'm sorry. Perfect. Now, do we have a third rule? Yes, we do. So, when the Y is at the end of a word, it's usually pronounced like the French E, similar to the E in C in English. So, the vowel E. For example, jury, which means a jury, which is the same way of writing it in French, which means a jury. Something like Rémi, like now, like sorry, first names, Rémi, Cathy, or any name that ends with a Y. It is pronounced like a simple E. So let's try and put rule number 3, sorry. Rule number 3. And this is it. So make sure you take extensive notes of this, because this is actually, I wanted to point it out because this is actually the most common, if not one of the most common mistakes people make in the TEF exam. Okay. So basically, that's it for Y, la lettre Y, ou bien, as we say in English, letter Y. So let's move on to something I left for the end of the vowels, which is the accents and their use. I don't mean the accent that we just saw. I mean one accent that's called the Tréma accent. So the Tréma accent is basically used, and it is a distinct vowel sound. It does separate from when you are reading the word or saying the word, it does separate a bit from the other vowel that's preceding it. So phonetic sound pronounced as a distinct vowel sound, separating it from the preceding vowel. Examples: Noel means Christmas. Citroën, which is the French brand car, and car brand, sorry. And haïr is a verb that means to hate. Let's repeat after me. Noël, your turn. Good. Second time. Noël. Okay. Okay, you got it. Next one. Citroën. Your turn. Citroën. Okay, good. Another time. Second time, sorry. Citroën. Go ahead, your turn. Okay, good. Now the verb. Haïr. Your turn. Okay, good. Next one. Haïr. Try it. Okay, good job. Now what I want to point out is that the accents are basically used also on other vowels. It's not only the E. So basically they are used on A, O, U, I. It's a bit confusing, but you're going to get the hang of it. So the acute accent, accent aigu, which we saw before, that was on the E, which is a sound like when we say, remember when we did that, we said, let me just check. You see here, we said été, café, bébé. So it's like the AY in say. So A, it's A. It has like a limit. So like we say été. So it has a limit to when you're saying it. So let me just go back to where we were. So this is only used for the letter E. Apart from, we find it in Spanish, which is on the A, like when we use the A in Spanish, it's A. but we are not learning Spanish. I want to point out that, and that it's also you're sometimes gonna see it on an I. You just have to know that it is a loan word, meaning it comes from another language. That's the only situation where accent aigu, the acute accent, is used on the words. Then we have the grave accent. That one, we still use it in French. So we have like on the a, which means to. For example, if I say je vais à l'école, I'm going to try that a little bit slower. Je vais à l'école. It means I'm going to school. Okay. We have the word où, which means where in French. You see that it has a grave accent on the U. And you have the accent on the A in the small word là. Là, it means here in French. Okay, let's try it. Ah, your turn. Good job. Another time. Ah, your turn. Now try it in a sentence. Let me write down the sentence for you. I'm going to annotate this. So let's write this sentence. Je vais, and I'm not going to always write in capital letter because I don't want you to kind of, okay, sorry. My keyboard is English and it's acting up. Okay, let me just try and find it over here. Sorry. Okay, we're trying je vais à l'école. Just imagine this is okay, and I'm gonna leave it over here and I'm gonna put the accent on it. I'm sorry. I never did the course, so this is my first time. Okay, so let's try it. Je vais à l'école. Your turn. Good, good. Okay, what does this one means? It means I go to school. Go to school. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Concentrate. Je vais à l'école. Your turn. Good, perfect. Now let's try où. So où, you can ask like someone where. Where was that? So it's gonna be like où. Try it. Où, your turn. Good. Second time. Où, your turn. Perfect. So now we're gonna move to là. Let's try it. Là, your turn. Good. The second time. Là, your turn. Perfect. That's good. That's good. Now we have the circumflex accent. And this one is reused not only on the E like we saw, it's used on the O mostly. It's also used on the I, la lettre I. So let's try this one. We have notre, which means ours. Votre, which means yours. Hôtel, which means a hotel. Forêt, which means forest. Il connaît, it means he knows. Il connaît, il connaît means he knows. Il paraît, it seems. So you could say il paraît que, it seems that. Il croit, he believes. Okay, let's try it. Repeat after me. Notre, your turn. Okay, second time. Notre, your turn. Good. Votre, your turn. Perfect. Another time. Votre, your turn. Perfect. Hôtel, your turn. I want to hear you. Good. Okay, second time. Hôtel, your turn. Okay, perfect. Forêt, your turn. Good. A second time. Forêt, your turn. Il connaît. Il connaît. Sorry. Repeat after me. Il connaît. Your turn. Good. A second time. Il connaît. Perfect. Il paraît. Your turn. Okay, good. The second time. Il paraît. Good. Il croit. Your turn. Perfect. A second time. Il croit. Your turn. Perfect. And then you have the Tréma accent. The Tréma accent is not used all the time or everywhere. So we have specific, it's not used that much. So we saw already Noël when we were looking at when it is on the E, on the letter E. So we have Noël, right? Sorry, just a minute. We have Noël. Okay, repeat after me. Noël. Good, your turn. Perfect. A second time. Noël. Okay, I want to hear you. Noël. Good, perfect. Okay, now let's move to maïs. Maïs means corn in French. So let's try it. Maïs, your turn. Good. Okay, a second time. Maïs, your turn. Good, good, good. Perfect. Laïque means non-religious. So laïque, your turn. Perfect. A second time. Laïque. Your turn. Good. And you have the thing that we say, like to say ouch, we say aïe in French. Try it. Aïe. Your turn. Perfect. A second time. Aïe. Your turn. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to move to the consonants. The consonant, we saw the vowel that were A, E, O, I, E. Sorry, A, O, U, I, E. So we saw 5 vowels. And what's left is 21 consonants. So I'm gonna go through, oh, sorry, I'll have to remove the annotations first. Okay, so I'm gonna go through all the lists over here. I'm gonna just pronounce what they are, and then we'll go one by one. So B, try it right after me. After I say it, like try it. B. Good. C. D. F. G. H. J. K. L. M. N. P. Q. R. S. T. V. W. 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 X. Y. Which is this one? Z. Okay, good. So basically, these are examples of it. I just want to mention because let me just check the next, just to make sure I have the same examples. Yeah. So these examples, we're gonna go one by one and we're gonna see definitely how they sound. I just want you to remember something. There are some letters that actually sound different. You remember when we did Y? It was that Y could be an I or it could be, excusez, un I. Ça pouvait être la lettre I ou bien yeah, okay? So let me point out, and I want you to write down, not everything, write down the letters. I want you to just make sure you circle these. So let me circle it for you. Okay, good. Let's try this one. Okay, so for C, it could sound like a K, a K, or an S. So carte, for example, over here, and this one is pronounced se. See what I mean? So it does depend which vowel is it before, and we're gonna see the details of that. And you have this other one, the G, la lettre G, it is pronounced G or J. Okay, so for example, this one is gare and this one is gel. See what I mean? And then you have from these, this one is silent. Remember that the H is always silent in French. So we say we say hiver, we don't say or hiver, you know? The other one that I wanted to point out was the S. The S might sound like an S or it might sound like a Z. So for example, here we say soleil, but here we say maison, okay? And you have this one, the W, that sound like a V for sometimes, or it does sound like a W. So we don't say wagon, we say wagon in French. So this is a V, and we say whiskey with the W. So I want you to make sure you remember this, that this one is pronounced wagon over here. Okay? So let's get right into it. I'm sorry for a minute. I'm just want to make sure I have this. Okay, good. And the last one here, I forgot about the last one. The last one is this one, the X. Oh, no, we still have two. So Y, we saw it. For the X, it could be pronounced kiss or jiz. Which means, ici, we say cis with an S. Like, it sounds like an S. Et là, we say exemple. So here it's an X, which is kiss, X. And here it is, yeah, give me a minute. So cis sound like an S, and example sound like an X. Does sometimes, yeah, that's it. So just keep that in mind. And the last one that has two ways of doing it, of being pronounced, is the Y, the letter Y. Like we saw yeux, it's with a Y, and still is with an I. We saw the rules on this one before. So let me move on. I'll give you just a minute. If you need to pause, and for example, make sure you get these. You got this written down. If you need to go back and rewatch what I just said, just go back and do it. Okay, so let me clear out all of this and let's begin.